welcome to the Not Superheroes Gets Dads podcast. No, we can't fly. No, we can't shoot lasers or pick up giant buildings. But what we can do is help set the foundations for our families, be present for our kids, and come back generational cycles. On this podcast, we dive into everything dad related, from the struggles we deal with as fathers to what our favorite thing to barbecue is. Hello, I'm Sean Laurie. Hope you guys are having an amazing, blessed day today. Man, like always, right, before we jump into it, guys, make sure you like, subscribe, share, tell a friend. You know, I always appreciate the support, guys. Like I say, I don't take it for granted. Now, with that being said, you know, I'm happy to have my boy Jawan. Y'all should by now y'all should be remembering him. He's been on a few times. But how you doing, my guy?
I'm feeling well right now. I can go a little further into what is actually going on, without giving too much details. But yeah, it's been the best week, to be honest, man. I know people want to get on here and be positive, but sometimes it's good to be honest, and I'm gonna talk about it. But for right now, I feel well. Got a little stress I need to take care of. We talked about it earlier, but hello out there. How y'all feeling? Hope y'all are well whenever you see this. I am Jawan, aka Jawando, host of the Dope Spot podcast, and I'm glad to be back, man. This has always been a good space. Sean takes care of me when I come on.
No, man, I appreciate that, and we still y'all too. We've been mapping out. It's been more so slacking on my side. We definitely gonna record live as well.
Yes.
So definitely when we do, man, I want y'all to definitely join us for that. But with that being said, man, so as you guys know, it's been a crazy week, 2 weeks, whatever it is. With social media, man, honestly, right? Like, obviously, I post on social media, but I think I've shared this with y'all. I'm not big on social media. I don't really like social media like that. And these past couple of weeks, I think, is a good example of that. And I'm talking about, obviously, he's been everywhere, right, with the Charlie Kirk guy, right? First of all, with that whole thing, you know, I'm not even going to go if he's bad, if he's good. None of that. I have no clue. Other person, I'll be real with y'all. I didn't even know who he was, right? Like, I didn't know who he was. It was actually my barber who told me. He was like, hey, yeah, he started off on YouTube and then became this influencer, whatever. I have no clue. But, you know, I guess I wanted to have you on, bro, to ask you. Well, one, for me, I want to say this, too. Regardless, excuse me, y'all, regardless of, I guess, however you feel on it, it was just more so sad for me on the aspect. The first thing I thought of was like, dang, his kids is going to grow up without a father. Right? That's just the first thing.
Yeah.
Again, I didn't know anything about the dude. This is before, you know, articles or I saw posts or whatever. The first thing I thought of, because they were like, oh, yeah, he's married with kids. I was like, dang, his kids are going to be fatherless, and he was only 31 years old. Like, that's the first thing I thought of. But with that being said, bro, what came to mind for you with, you know, with everything? Because I think you've been like me, bro. Like, you haven't really said much. You just been kind of just laying low, you know what I mean? But what was, like, your thoughts on that?
Well, for me, the best thing to do sometimes is to not do anything. Sometimes we have thoughts in our head about, or opinions about certain subjects, and I always looked at it as, and I used to get in trouble for this. It would be things I didn't know much about, and I'll interject, or I'll put my nose in it, and you know, people may not even directly say anything to you right then, but it tarnishes your reputation. You know, we got a human being that passed away, that was obviously slain on camera or, you know, in a public setting in 2025. Like, that's what we're the biggest part of it, and we're okay with it. We seemingly are so desensitized that we are okay with it, and we're like going back and judging certain things and certain parts about his life. And so I'm just like, based on what you said, he started on YouTube and all these things. I'm like, you know, what was his message? What type of person was he? I'm a devoted Christian as well. Am I perfect? Far from it. Am I always living in a Christian spirit? No, but I am trying, and I'm always working toward it. With that being said, I feel like as Christians, sometimes we don't give people passes. We look at us as individuals, unlike God should look at us. And again, I stayed away. I haven't seen the video. I don't want to see it. That's not something that is going to help me in life. I like you. I would rather him be here for his children. As a father, I think active father, your thoughts toward life in general is just different. That usually shows in your behavior, and I say usually because we all do certain things. We may speed, we may do something that's like not something that we should be doing if we cared about our kids that much, But he's obviously standing up for a cause, and he was guiding people, and I just feel like that's it's a sad loss. Whatever he believed in outside of that, I could care less. But that's a life taken and unfortunately, so many people seen it and reacted to it in ways that divided people even further. And I in my school, I teach at I don't know, I don't want to speak on it, but somebody ended up showing the footage somewhere, from what I hear, and I'll leave it at that. And of course, that wasn't a good good idea for that person.
Yeah. So. No, that's how I kind of look at it too, right? It's like at the end of the day too, like you said, man, it's kind of sad that we watch it like it's nothing, right? Like the first thing, like what I'm seeing online from people is, oh man, like good, he's gone or something like that, and they're posting the video, and I'm like, where do we get, like, as people, how did we get to that point, right? And then, like you said, like, I look at it like, man, kids are watching this. Kids are seeing this. What does that do to them? Like, it kind of make them numb to seeing something like that. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
And I know China has its issues and stuff, but I know in China, they restrict you. Like, you can't look at certain, I could literally type in, hey, man get shot in the head, right? And it's going to pop up. It's going to literally show me that. They restrict that where you might
get flagged. You might get flagged for that.
You might. But I'm just saying in general, like
for saying it, you say it's freedom of speech, but not all platforms accept those things.
It's funny you say that too, right? Where again, and this is where for me, I'm not big on watching the news like that. I used to call it not even the news. I used to be like the bad, like the bad. Because every time it's on, there's nothing good. They're going to tell you, hey, if you eat a tomato, you can die tomorrow. You're like, wait, what? I've been eating tomatoes.
Just living in a constant state of fear.
Yeah, right. So it's constant fear, it's constant division, constant, chaos. And so I protect my kids from that. Things that they need to know, of course, I'm going to let them know, right? But then certain things, I'm like, really, what value does that add to my kids? What value does that add to my life, right? If anything, it's just causing division, it's just causing chaos for no reason, and then people get mad like, oh no, this person said this person said that. To go back on the Charlie Kirk stuff with him, I've seen people post stuff about him being racist, but then I've also seen people post and say, hey, similar clip, and be like, this is the context of what he said. He was actually sticking up. Then again, I don't know the dude. I will never know the dude. It's just crazy to me as people how we get so caught up in, I guess, celebrity, because he is a celebrity now, right? Like, we get so caught up in these celebrities' lives. I'm seeing people debate about Cardi B having a kid with Stephen Diggs, and I forgot the chick's name. That's with Papoose, the boxer, whatever, right? Like,
yes, Clarissa Shields.
Yes, right. They're literally debating over that. Like, these are rich people problems, man. Why are we even worried about it? Like, at the end of the day, who cares? Exactly. Who cares?
And that's a real question. Like who cares? Like whatever. But also who are these people that care so much? Like, what are you doing with your life that allowed you to be so in tune with that stuff? And I know people have jobs. I know people live life in different ways. And we're a little older, so it'd be different. But I'm trying to figure out, why are we putting this on ourselves? Like, don't we have enough stress in our lives? Haven't we seen enough? It's never enough, honestly. It's always more. And that's where I know that because before, earlier in life, I would have been like, I just need to see it just to know, just to be able to talk about it, to discuss it at work or whatever. I'm at a point now, I honestly, I'm not the person that cares that much.
Yeah, and maybe that's where we're at, bro. Maybe that's, maybe I would have been so caught up in that. Maybe I'm just in a place in my life where I'm like, I got 4 kids. I got a wife, I got all these other responsibilities. At the end of the day, that really does nothing for me, right? And I've realized, people do things for clickbait, right? Just because they say certain things don't mean they necessarily believe it. No matter how believe, it's just like with rappers, right? We'll think, oh man, Young Thug is this, or 6ix9ine is this, whatever rapper you're into, and then you find out, oh wait, they're not really like that. Like, oh, Rick Ross, oh shoot, right? All these different things that we like hold on to that's not reality. You know what I mean?
Right.
So for me, that's how I look at it. Too. Again, I don't know. He could have been a terrible person. He could have believed the stuff he said. I have no clue. But it also reminds me of the Boondocks when that episode where the teacher, I think the teacher said like the N word or something.
Oh, sure.
And
The uproar.
Right?
Yeah, he didn't think anything was wrong with it.
Yeah.
And even after I only think he apologized, but even after he like, wow, that was offensive. I would have never said it had I known. Because I was repeating what was said. That was it.
But do you remember the I forgot he was supposed to be like a Jesse Jackson or something like that. Whatever he was working with the right. He was making a whole race name, but he was working with
Rollo.
Yes, right. He was making a whole thing, right? And as funny as that episode is, that's what they like. It's all a game a lot of times.
Yeah,
right?
it's propaganda.
Hey, we're gonna. Yeah, I remember when. What's that dude's name? Is it Sean King?
Yes.
Right, Sean King. He's been exposed for race baiting. Right. That's a whole nother thing. But
I'm not surprised. I've done it. Andrew Tate. These people, like, I don't. And even to say their name, like, why do I know your name?
Yeah.
That's like somebody saying, "Oh, Jawan was caught 5 years ago doing this and this and this." Why do you know that?
Yeah.
Well, I understand not who am I, but to the world. But okay, let's put that in perspective. Since I mentioned it, let's say people only know you for this podcast, and the people that know you of the podcast only let you know they know you from the podcast. Yeah. But there's thousands of people that met you before. You know what I'm saying? That you're not from here. Yeah. So whatever you're doing here is what you're doing. The only real difference is the exposure. If Andrew Tate or Charlie Kirk was only doing it on like a real like grassroots level and it wasn't impactful, you wouldn't know who he was. You just know a person that got shot. So really, it's just the exposure to certain things. He is obviously doing something not necessarily right, but he was also obviously doing something impactful enough for him to gain a following, for him to grow in that level. So you do know who he is. So now, this is why I pod. This is why these episodes are important, because when that's all said and done, all I got is my body of work. Now you can't necessarily judge me off of that, but you can say, well, he was trying to do a podcast, and he did a podcast with his boy Sean. Like, they were real friends. It wasn't like somebody he just had on, or when he talked about this 4 years ago. Oh, he lived it. And that's how I look at things. As long as you being authentic within yourself, and you're not you're not portraying something just to do it. Like you mentioned, rappers are trying to gain something. They're really trying to get things back. With most rappers, especially like street rappers, grew up from a nothing type of environment. That don't mean they were dirt poor, but they didn't have the things that they wanted to acquire growing up. Therefore, in order to get these things, let me make affirmations about these things. Let me talk about what I went through to get here, tell my story, and now I can obtain these things. So I think that's really artistic. That's something that's a gift to make it through that, to break through those walls and be like, oh yeah, I'm not, now I'm G Herbo. Now I'm, whatever artist. That's the person that came to mind, by the way. Because I watched his journey from 15, 16 years old. I was watching Chicago rappers really heavy back then. So to see him where he's been, where he's at, and he's talking about mental health, that's just I applaud him, because he don't have to do that. And
that's what I think. It's funny you say that too, right? Because that's what I think of with the whole, if anyone, right, anyone that gets judged on things they say, right? Now again, for those people that have literally, abused, raped, murdered, whatever, I hope they get, whatever they get, right? But
Okay,
for those
fair.
that have said certain things, especially like I said in that space, right? I always look at it too, like, do we give them do we understand that people can grow and to understand, hey, okay, the way I thought at this, like for example with Charlie, he was 31, right? So
Hmm.
who's to say he would think the same at 40? Maybe he would, I don't know. And
Sure.
someone might listen like, no, he would have been the same type of person. But unfortunately, we'll never know the answer to that
You never
because he's
know.
not around, right? So
Right.
I just look at it like that too, like, what if people judge me or felt some type of way on how I was five,
They do.
2 years,
They,
a year
they
ago?
do. That's what I'm saying. They do. Somebody's looking like, man, he just talking about this. I remember he said he didn't want kids. Well, I'm not saying you said that,
Yeah,
but now all you're doing is promoting fatherhood, which is not a bad thing at all. That's amazing. That's why I love coming on here. That's why I love, even if I catch a few seconds of these episodes, that they're basically reminders of what I should try to be.
yeah,
And that's not necessarily I agree with every dad on here,
yeah,
but you're trying to be a father.
yeah,
That's fatherhood is something that you shouldn't take for granted at all. Just the ability to how you make kids, the fact that you made it through with your child. Some guys out here have children and don't even know it. They're well, yeah, I guess they're not dads. They're right. They are fathers, but they don't. They birth kids. They had them, and then I've met people meeting their children at 15 or 16 because they didn't know. They weren't told. I don't know if it was like a one night stand thing. I don't know if it was like, well, maybe the mother just chose not to say anything because she knew what type of person she was dealing with. Sorry if that triggered anybody because I know those situations happen,
yeah.
but it's reality. So
But it also, I also look at it like, right, we pick and choose too with certain things because like you said, having kids and maybe you are trying to be a dad or you're not able to be a dad to all of them, whatever the case is. But like, for example, Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon has, I think, his 12th kid or whatever, however many kids he has now. And he just recently admitted he's been having all these kids with different women because of trauma he's dealing with, right? That he's never
Right.
addressed. I think he said some of it had to do with his divorce, actually, with Mariah Carey. They've been divorced
Right.
forever, right? So just different things like that. It's funny because I think it was either my lady or someone else said, like, oh, he has all these kids because there's something deeper going on. Like, he keeps having, like, there's a reason, like, he's trying to fill that void, right? But I've also seen
Well,
comments of women, like, support him, right? Like, oh, yeah, hey, it's okay, this and this and this. But then I've
because he
also,
can take care of them
yeah, right?
financially.
Because it's okay, he has the money, but then I've also seen it where they're like, oh, yeah, he's, they're bad mouth him. And the reason why I bring those both examples up is because at the end of the day, it's just if we like them or not, right? That's what it really comes down to. If we
So,
like them or not, all of a sudden, I feel like whatever they said or whatever they did isn't that bad. People, like I said,
Right.
people rocking with Cardi B, they like, oh yeah, go ahead, you left Offset, that's great. Who? Oh well, yeah, she's pregnant, she's still married, but what did Offset do, right? Like it's literally so right. And then the people that don't like Cardi's like, hey, right? So it's just a constant clash, bro, for no reason. But go ahead, I know
Yeah.
you about to say something.
Well, no, I was just asking, how long were you in labor when you had your first couple of kids?
Oh, for me?
Yeah, how long were you
Oh,
like?
it was quick,
Did you have to
bro.
push it? I'm saying for you, like, did you have to push and
Oh,
breathe?
did I have to
Well,
push?
right. I was being funny, but I was
Oh,
basically like, they're having the children. The
oh,
dads aren't having. I know what you mean, but dads aren't having the kids. So
yes.
the emotional strain, all these other things that women are going through. A lot of times, we as fathers fail to give attention to what's going on with our kids, and that's where they slip through the cracks a little bit.
Yeah.
To become these people. If I'll say I'm quite sure, when you give, courses and classes and men actually attend them in whatever realm, starting early in age. They don't even have health classes like they used to. I remember health was like 5th or 6th grade.
Yeah.
And it's this thing you don't even talk about. And you think these kids are getting education at home? Likely not. Most parents aren't trying to talk about that. They're trying to avoid it. And so the children grow up with trauma, with certain things going on with them. Back to Nick Cannon, he grew up as a childhood star. his life was surrounded by camera and attention. So he's likely wanting to get more attention. And also, I'm looking at it as, like I said, he's not having the kids. He's kept creating the children. But once he does his job as a man, the kids are just, they get here when they get here. And so I don't know what his, that would be a cool question to ask him, like to talk about. And maybe one day that'll happen. But again, who cares? Like, let that man have his kids, as long as they're healthy, as long as he's okay with it, as long as the mothers are okay with it. I think we should do our best rendition of staying out of other people's business and minding our own.
Yeah. I think it's one of those things too where, and I get it, because someone might be listening or watching. They're like, well, what do you mean? Like, you never aren't interested in what celebrities?
Well, some celebrities, I'm too invested. If you want to go there, that's the problem.
Absolutely. Like, I get it. I pay it, but in the grand scheme of things, right? Like, instead of going back and forth with people, literally having heated arguments, or people, unfollowing each other, right? Having all these disagreements. Like, maybe understand where they're coming from, or just like, hey, we don't agree, but that's okay. We saw a bunch of that during COVID, right?
Ooh.
During COVID, everybody was, sorry, son, you're not gonna hang out with their kid no more. Sorry, daughter, you're not gonna, like, no, we're gonna cut ties with them. That's it. And shoot,
I didn't experience that. I was overseas, so that was a little different for me.
Oh, it was bad, bro. It was
okay.
I'm talking about. Same thing you're seeing now with the churches, which is crazy. You're seeing Christians being divided with the Charlie Kirk stuff too, right?
Right.
It was same with COVID, right? Because also not only COVID happened, but then you had the whole thing, Black Lives Matter. I think that same thing, George Floyd.
Okay, yeah,
right?
yes.
All that stuff was all around.
Before that, Mike Brown.
Yeah, Mike. Right. So all that stuff was literally happening. So it was just like
Trayvon.
What you said,
really kicked it up. And Trayvon's situation was, I know it was years prior to.
Yeah, all that
kind of ran together.
Yes. And then
we get to.
If you felt one way, it was another way, right? Like, shoot, we saw that with Kyrie, right? Kyrie couldn't play for the Nets because he was like, hey, I don't agree with the shot. If you get the shot, cool. But there was an issue with that. I remember having conversations. I never told people where I stood at for that reason. I was like, hey. They were like, oh, I don't believe in the shot. Oh, yeah, I understand that, bro. I respect it, Or, hey, I'm going to get the shot. Hey, I understand it's a scary time, right? Instead of me saying, well, you should do this, you should do that. I was like, I'm going to sit back and do what's best for me and my family. That's always been my approach. When people also, that's a whole other thing, but people get so caught up in these labels. I'm a Democrat. Yeah. I'm a Republican. I'm black. I'm white. I'm this. And I'm not saying you shouldn't be proud. I am a proud black man, absolutely. But do I have to make sure that is my identity? No, you should know I'm a black man just by seeing me, number one. Number two, though, I'm going to treat you the way that you need to be treated, right? Like, I'm going to treat each individual, because guess what? There's another black person that I might not be cool with. There's a Hispanic that I could be cool with, a white, all these different races. So it doesn't all of a sudden, hey, you're a Democrat, so we're buddies. Like, no, you might be a Democrat and you're a jerk. A Republican, you're a jerk. So when people ask me what party, I say I'm not a party. I'm whatever benefits my family, whatever makes sense for me. So for me, at the time when COVID was a thing and they were like, hey, we're going to give it to the kids, for me and my family, I said I'm not doing that. And it had nothing to do with, oh, you know what, you don't care about people. No, because I made sure I did what we were supposed to do, have our mask on, stay inside, all this.
You took precaution.
Took precaution, right? I wasn't one of the people like, no, forget you. Because, it was a very, it was an unknown time, so it was scary. But what I did, which most people don't do because they just go off of memes or go off of what they see online, I did research to make sure what I need to do what was best for my family. So when I researched and I looked at the numbers, when I looked at how many cases of COVID, but how many deaths of COVID,
were reported.
Yes, right. I'm like, this isn't. And then when I started talking to people in the medical field, and they're telling me different things, right? And I'm like, oh shoot, okay. So I was like, it makes sense for me to wait, especially when I found out it takes at least 10 years to perfect a vaccine. So if it takes 10 years, I'm not going to do that and be like, hey, Even my daughter could tell you. My oldest was like, Dad, again, she was scared. Dad, I think I should get it. I said, no, you're not getting it. But Dad, I said, this will probably go away in the next year or two. Right. So if you want to get it when you're 18, you're more than welcome to. But until then, no, you're not getting it. Fast forward, she thinks, Dad, like, that's crazy. Now COVID's like basically a cold. I'm like, yeah, basically. You know, I mean, you still got to do your precaution, but yes, everything is pretty much normal again.
Basically, most things that are left untreated or misdiagnosed cause issues. Right now, I'm working on my I don't even know the name of the class right now, but I'll take about it later. But I'm working on a class that breaks down your disorders and things that people throw out there, like, oh, I'm bipolar, or oh, I'm ADHD. Like, stop saying these things and labeling yourself. Stop doing that. You don't fit any of the criteria. You don't. You might have like an episode, or you might get upset about something, but you're not spending time. You know, it's right here: inflated self-esteem, decrease of sleep, more talkative, flight of ideas. You're not dealing with that on a consistent basis to say, well, I'm bipolar. Just because you don't have good decision-making skills don't make you bipolar. that just don't work that way.
But so that's trending though, bro. That's trending online. So that's.
Oh yeah, if it's trending, yeah, I got to put that out there. Yeah. Oh, don't make my ADHD come out, or whatever that you throwing, whatever acronym you throwing out there. Don't make it come out, because, well, if you got control of it, you likely don't have it. So some people are. That's the other part of the human side. Some people are dealing with things and are hurting, and they're damaged because they can't control it. The OCD, like, for real. Like, their nails got to look a certain way. Their desk has to look a certain way. They're constantly touching things. And that, it takes a toll on your mental. And if that's not a priority for you, cool. You know, I'm not going to stop you. I'm going to finish this degree up, and, you know, you're going to be one of my clients. And your insurance company going to pay me. But I don't want people in there like that. I want to see people better. I'm just the human side of me. I want people to be better, to get better, to take a break from some of this stuff, because it's damaging. And obviously, like you said, it trickles down to your children, who feel what you feel a lot of times, that we don't give credit to that. You know, when we're tired and we're overstimulated with things we watch, we may be sitting on our phone trying to watch a video, and our kid come up want to play on our lap, and we're like, get off me. I've done that. It's irritable because I got to finish watching the video. Yeah. That doesn't make me feel good. I definitely don't make my child feel good, or my children feel good, because I'm neglecting them to watch. And that's not to say you shouldn't entertain yourself, but it's got to be a limit. We have to control it as adults.
No, and the funny thing is too, what you're saying, like, right, like something just so as small as you know, watching a video, or, you know, getting so caught up where you put these labels on yourself, and maybe you realize, you know, hey, I'm lazy, right? I'm always lazy. But you realize, oh, I'm not really lazy. It's just one of those things that, you know, and no one in my family trusted me to do certain things, so I just got used to everybody doing it for me, right? And you're trying to figure out certain things, and the reason why I say that is because, you know, a lot of times, especially in today's age, if we're still trying to figure out who we are, right? We could be in our 20s, in our 30s, in our 40s, 50s. We're still figuring out different things. Why is it that we're so quick to say our 10-year-old already has it figured out, right? Whatever they want to do.
That's real.
Right?
That's real.
Yep. And that's the problem that bothers me, is like, you know, we get, again, because we saw it on YouTube, or we saw it on Instagram about someone else's situation. Now all of a sudden we're trying to say, oh, maybe our kid, let's put that label on our kid, right? Yeah. Instead of like, no, let our kids be kids. Why are we so quick to try to push certain things, or push certain, and that's another reason why I don't watch the news, because a lot of times the news has certain agendas, and right or left, I don't care, y'all. And for those that are like, no, the news is, you know, is always saying the correct thing. Well, if that's the case, why is it that we have people that swear by Fox News and people that don't swear by Fox News, right? That's the most common one, mostly, because I think, if I remember correctly, Fox News
CNN, Fox,
right?
Yeah.
It's more conservative. So the people that are conservative, yeah, that's great. People that aren't are like, no, that's terrible, right? And a lot of times, it's not one or the other. It's somewhere in the middle. But the problem is, we feel like we have to take a stand, right? Like, oh man, COVID is terrible. You don't get the vaccine, you're terrible. Or you know what? You do get the vaccine, you know, you don't trust your body, or whatever the case is, right? Whatever it is to argue, and it's like, well, no, maybe it's somewhere in the middle. You know what I mean? Maybe it's
And like back to what you said is what works best for you.
Yeah.
For me, you know, not making it about me, but being a military spouse, we didn't have a choice. You don't take the vaccine, you get kicked out. And people took that liberty to say, I'm gone. Wherever I'm at in my career, 3 years, 13, 23 years, I'm out. I'm not taking the vaccine. I'm not, you know, affecting the birth of my new child, whatever the reason would be. And people got out. People deferred their retirement and bonuses. So, I mean, again, I was in Japan when COVID kicked off, 2017 through 2021. I was in Japan. So, Korea and China are right there. So we had already experienced, and I may have mentioned this before, but we had already experienced what COVID-19 was. We seen it. We seen the panic. I dealt with it. Lost a bunch of weight. Had all the symptoms of like not being able to smell, not being able to taste, and had no clue what was wrong with me for like 2-3 weeks. You know, I was looking bad, bro, and and I was working on a food truck, so I wasn't able to smell the food. You know, I wasn't able to taste the food. And finally, it went away or whatever. And then, so this was like November of 2019. And then around, March, that's when it kicked off. So this was 3, 4, 5 months that no one really had a clue of the magnitude. And I'm sure you guys in the States were kind of just going through life and until it was mandated. And so even with how things are on TV, like in the 60s, if you had a television, you seen civil rights movements, you seen people getting sprayed by hoses, and you seen lynches and things like that. You've seen these things on TV. So it's not like this is something new.
Yeah.
And that's why I want people to also understand. We understand that.
Yeah.
But at some point, you know, that there has to be some distinction between what should be shown and then what you just don't care about putting out there. What was that? It was a website that you could go on back in the day, back in like early internet days, and it would just show like stuff like you talking about, like violent criminal stuff. I'm pretty sure you remember, but it was like a bad website, and people would just go on there. It would just show like violent things. It was before World Star, before all that. It was some almost like a banned black market website. But I can't remember what it was called. But I just, when I think about things like that, I'm like, wow, they really try to, almost like, you know, corn. They try to hide it and be like, oh, it's restricted or you can't get on it. But you can find your way. Yeah. You know, even you can stream football games. Oh, send me the link. What's the link? Yeah. We're in a league, and they were like, send me the link. You know, what's the link? Like, so you want me to do something illegal for you? You might not look at it as like it's trivial, right? But it's still illegal. Yeah. It's still something that we probably shouldn't be doing. But I just know that if we take a little bit of what we shouldn't be doing and then reverse that and put that into the world as positivity and putting that positive light on things or a positive spin on something, there will be less of what you see. Unfortunately, that's not the case, and it's probably not going to happen.
No, unfortunately, and like you said, man, it's to go back to as well. You know, even with like, I guess freedom of speech or whatever the case is. What was the guy's name again, bro? The one that just lost his job or got suspended. The talk show host.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel. Thank you.
See, again, and it's not edited or nothing, y'all. He just asked this, and I knew it, and it ain't because I knew it. It's because my wife was talking about something else, and I happened to look, and she was like, "Oh, I already knew." I'm like, "That was 31 minutes ago. I didn't even see you on your phone. How did you know that?" But she probably seen it from another outlet or whatever. Yeah. But still, like that just goes to show, like, you know, go ahead.
But even with him, right? Like Jimmy Kimmel, he lost his job, you know,
right,
because of what he said. I don't know exactly what he said. Again, like I said, y'all, I don't be online, so like that. Yeah. But
he probably said other things about people. And
absolutely. But the Charlie Kirk thing is a sensitive thing, I guess, whatever. So he got let go from that, and then people were also mad though. I think at the NFL for some of the teams honoring him. So it's just kind of funny, not funny like haha, but it's ironic, I guess, where people are just like they're mad that Jimmy lost his job, but they're happy that Charlie got killed for what he said, right? So it's like, oh, okay, I'm okay if this person loses I'm okay if this person loses their life, but I'm not okay if this person loses their job, right? And I'm like, well, Jimmy can get another job. He can't get another life.
Like, he about to turn up. Like what? It was already a huge show, like an amazing show for as far as ratings and stuff. But this is because we want to see how you're gonna come back. We love a comeback story. Absolutely. America loves a freaking comeback story.
Absolutely.
I don't care if you're who you are, where area of entertainment you're in.
Yeah. But that. I guess that's something I thought about too. Is just like, man, like again, like I said, we pick and choose, right? We pick what side we want to be on, whatever the case is. Because I'm like, all right, so again, not saying he was. I don't know the dude though personally, so I can't really speak on him. I don't know because again, whatever he was saying on camera could be shock value. Because I've known people like that. I'm not gonna put one of the homies on blast, but one of the homies has a whole page, has a huge following, where he's acting like he's going to different hoods fighting, and I know he's not. And he has a huge following, right? And actually, other people have imitated his stuff, right? So, like, that's what I say. Like, again, it's one of those things where what is reality? Because online, we can show you anything. I can show you I'm quote unquote the best husband in the world, or I can post all these different things. Oh yeah, you know what? I love when my wife cooks for me, but my wife only cooked like let's say she never cooks. Let's say we go out to eat every day, right? But I'm just finessing it like, oh yeah, and oh wow, you're so lucky, or I'm always spending top notch things for my wife, and no, actually I won this at a raffle,
right.
Right? So it's like, what do we want to portray online? And so, unfortunately, for me and you, bro, we try to be very authentic. So because of that, because we're not trying to go for the hot take, right? It's going to take longer for us because we're not trying to be hot at that moment. We're not trying to, keep the clip. And unfortunately, being authentic is no longer seen upon as a great thing. Being authentic no longer get you viewed at, no longer get you the respect you should, right? It's, oh man, what are you gonna say? Hey, Jawan, you need to start bashing people with mental health, right? Or you need to start blaming everyone why you have mental health, or you need to, bash.
And I do. That's why I recognize it.
Right? So, you need to bash this lady. You need to, right? Like if I start bashing mothers, right? If I start bashing, if I start bashing fathers that aren't there.
But fathers,
right?
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden, people would love that. Like, oh man, I'm pissed off, but I'm gonna still check you out. The same people that didn't like Charlie Kirk, his views. My boy told me his views went up after he died.
Oh, of course.
So
right, people pass away.
Right,
the streams
I can't
go
stand him. Again, and most of these people, I'm pretty sure didn't even know who he was. That's why they went to his page to probably see more about him, right? Oh, I can't stand this guy. So either way, that's why I said like people can portray what they want because either way, the job is to get you to pay attention, right? Yeah. So I hate LeBron, but you watching every game when he plays.
Because you might miss something.
Yeah.
You want to be involved.
Yeah.
So that's a great topic too because I think a lot of people would be looking for then what, if you're not watching this, what are you watching? If you're not paying attention to the news, like you mentioned it earlier, if you're not involved in things, so why are you in entertainment? Because that's a choice I'm making. These are choices, people. All these are all choices. I made a choice when I was working on some other homework assignments, as I'm working on toward my degree, my master's, to listen to the Young Thug and Big Bang interview because I started listening to it before, but I actually sat there. I wasn't completely tuned in, but it was on, and I was watching his mannerisms and hearing him talking. I'm like, I feel that way sometimes. I felt that way about people. I've been how he's thinks feels about Gunna. Like I've been on the side on that side before because I was trying to play these roles.
Yeah.
And the same thing when it comes to social media. We and I mentioned this on my episode recently. We try to hashtag or time or play it at the right time. And bro, if you trying to do that, you trying to play the matching game, or like you're setting yourself up not necessarily for failure, but for exhaustion. And eventually you're gonna burn out. And I just know it because I've seen it. I've seen it too many times since I've been on the internet. I've been on the internet since 2006. So I've seen how trends work. I've seen how people have pages and they own. Remember Facebook? They were on it every day, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, posting, to the point where they got like, I don't even post them. I don't even have a Facebook profile. I don't even have social media, because at that moment that was part of what was taking their time up. Maybe they had time for it. I was one of those people. Twitter was out when it finally dropped. I'm just tweeting. You know, nobody really responding to it. So that kind of became what I'm doing now. I like to talk. I like to clear things up. I like to have conversations with people like you, because you, for one, you listen, and for two, you're engaging. You know, it's hard to not. That's why I don't do many solo episodes, because I couldn't sit here and do this with myself for longer than like 10 minutes. I'd be like, all right, guys, thanks for watching. Gotta go. I've said enough. You know what I mean? Unless I really have something to say.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Yeah. So.
No, I think what sticks out to me too for y'all that's watching, listening, is we get so caught up as you know, I'm talking about all of us, right? We caught up in being a character instead of that person, right? Unfortunately, we get so caught up in that, and that happens because especially now, you know, you're getting attention for being this way, so now you start carrying yourself this type of way, right? And it's almost where you have to fake who you are, right? In a sense,
yeah,
but
stay in character.
Your kids will see that. They'll start noticing that. Wait, hold on, Dad switches up when these people are around. Like, what the heck? Like, and for me, that just sounds like a lot of work, right? For me, I want to be me 24/7. I'm not trying to be a character. I am who I am. If you don't like it, that's okay. God bless you. Hey, keep it moving. You know what I mean? Like, for me, it's just too much work, and I look at it like, man, and at times, like, I know we as people, we are envious at times as celebrities, but a lot of these celebrities I feel bad for them, because I'm like, they have to be a character. They can't be them. They have to be a character, because that's what you know them as. Like, oh man, this person is, this athlete or this celebrity is, they so bad, they so sexy, this and this, and maybe they just want to go out the house in sweats and a t-shirt, but they can't. Because all of a sudden it's, hey, what's wrong with this person? Are they pregnant? Or did they lose a step? Right? Oh, did so and so, did they spend all their money? Are they broke? It's like, no, I just wanted to ride my bike. Like, I just didn't want to drive. I just wanted.
Or I wanted to drive. Yeah, I could afford a driver, but I want to drive.
Yeah, right. So it's just, oh, why are they driving this type of car? Right? It's just different things like that, man, where at times I feel bad, because I'm like, you're stuck having to play a character and you're not able to be a person. And so, you know, that's something I definitely just want to say as well. But I want to ask you, bro, I've been holding you up, but I want to ask you,
that's all good.
How is it for you, and because your oldest is 12 now?
13
now. Yeah. Like, for you, how do you kind of, I don't want to say shield her, because you can't necessarily shield her, but like have her be aware of certain things like that, right? Like you said, unfortunately, seeing a human get shot in the neck live, and you know, even the stuff, I remember the video with George Floyd, right? Like, going on, like, that was terrible, right? Just all these different things. How do you kind of protect her from that, and not only protect her from that, but also help her be to understand, hey, what you see online isn't always necessarily the full picture.
Yeah, I'll give credit to her mom as well, my wife. We both do a great, excellent job helping her to understand who we are. Whether we attend church, and not only do we attend church, we take our children to church with us. We're in the Word, and we're not the family that sits around the table at 5:30 every day and hold hands and read the Bible. Well, that's not what I'm saying. But we live like Christ in so many different ways to where she understands. And it's funny you brought that up today. I asked her, I said, you ever heard of the word conviction? And she was like, or do you know what it means? But you heard of it, right? She was like, yeah, I heard of it. And I explained it to her, and she, nodded her head. And she's 8th grade, so she's seeing a lot. She is not only developing her mind, body, and everything else, but she's starting to see how friendships are working. I told her to stop using the word friends so loosely. And she's also starting to see where the dangers of this exposure, what it does for people. Yeah, she loves to sit there and watch her like YouTube videos and things like that. But I don't feel like because she watches it, it affects her to a point where she's going to do it or whatever. So the biggest thing I could just say, I don't really have control over that. I feel like she has enough God in her and conviction in her own mind to say that's not right. That's not okay. She's a decent person, and that's really all I try to raise. I don't try to raise a perfect child, or children. I'm not trying to raise somebody who can't see things or wear certain things. No, she knows how to keep it fly. She's insecure about herself actually, and she's very public. She's in all types of sports and things. But after a while, it's like, in order to do this and be this, I gotta be out in the public eye. But I'm gonna take care of myself. I'm gonna make sure I look. My hair is on point. She asked me today going to volleyball practice, how's my ponytail look? I'm glad you feel that way, because some kids will go out the door, they look how they look. And I'm like, at least you have some pride. You must listen to your mama, because she don't want you going outside looking like everybody hates Chris Rochelle used to say, looking raggedy. You don't want. We're not having no raggedy looking kids. Yeah. Not on a daily basis. Yeah. So and for you, how do you handle that as having a pretty much an adult child, and then the others?
Honestly, like I said, I'd stay away from the noise, but also I try to make sure I constantly talking to them and see where they're at, right, with certain things, because they'll hear certain things. I try to have that open communication and let them know, hey, like, this is why this happened, or what do you think about this? I'll ask them questions too.
Yes.
Right? More so, like, I don't want them to form an opinion strictly off of me, right? Like, even when I'm doing like a Bible study or something with them, I'll ask them a question and see what you think. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, that's good. What do you think about this, though? Or how do you think about that? So I try to make sure that they think for themselves, because I don't want them to get so caught up in, what social media said this, or someone online said this, or my next door neighbor said that, and that must be it, right? And we'll take on, unfortunately, I see it all the time as grown men, as grown women, we take on other people's ideas. We take on other people's, whatever they say is true, we take it on. Like I said earlier,
it's the gospel.
We'll see a meme and we'll think it's true. There's a bunch of fake pages out there that constantly want engagement, which I just talked about too earlier, right? With people say things for engagement, right? But we'll see stuff, it'll be like, yeah, hey, you know what? Jawan hates everybody, right? And this is why he hates everyone. And it could be a clip. I can get a clip where you just like, man, you know what? I really hate everyone. And I stop it at that. And I didn't put, Jawan said, oh, I really hate everyone when they...
Context.
Right, the context of it. But you were saying, I really hate everyone is how you used to think because you hated yourself. Let's say, for example, right? Because you had your own self-esteem issue. But instead, no, I just had that quote and I put it out there in the world, and now people are just slandering you, right? Instead of, hey, so, okay, this is what was said. Let's really do some deep diving. Shout out to Jason, because Jason has helped me with this. He's like, anytime you research, not only do you research it, but then find out who the writer, find out their history. So you got to research the research, which most people, 99.9 people don't do.
Nope.
Right?
Nope.
But if you do that, it's going to help you, because you're like, oh, shoot. Okay, the reason why he says Trump is amazing is because he actually used to work for Trump, right? And then I did more background, and his parents, used to babysit Trump. Oh, the reason why he hates Trump is because, you know what? dang, back in the day, he was actually on Trump's team, but Trump got rid of him. And they had beat all this extra stuff, right? I'm just using Trump for example, y'all, but like you start digging.
Yeah,
like,
no.
Oh wait, hold on.
Don't attack us for talking about our president. He's our president. There's nothing we can do. He's our president.
I'm just saying. Either way, you'll start digging. You be like, oh, this person's biased.
Sure.
So they're not necessarily saying. So you have to try to make sure. Okay, I researched the researcher, and they actually have no horse in this race. Like they don't care. They have some stuff bashing Trump. They have some stuff supporting Trump. They have some stuff against Charlie Kirk. They have some stuff for Charlie. Whatever it is, right? And you're like, oh shit. Now you can form your own opinion instead of just like with sports, y'all. Y'all know if y'all like Michael Jordan, right? Okay, you can listen to.
You can't say nothing bad about Mike
or something, right? If you like, if you don't like Jordan, you're better. If you like LeBron more, you can listen to Nick Wright, right? Like whoever you want to listen to, you can literally get whatever it is you want to get, right? In anything at all. So, I say all that, bro. I know that's a long answer. I just say all that to say, like,
that's cool.
You know, for me, I try to have my kids think for themselves and then teach them to research the researcher.
Right. Cite your own sources too. Like I do well with that. Like I'm about to cite real quick, if you don't mind. Yeah. Galatians 6:4. Let each one examine his own work. Then he can take pride in himself and not compare himself to someone else. The word says that. So if you are a believer, it's right there in the word. It's like, and that's what we worked on today. We're talking about gambling, but it was ways to, and we gamble. We play fantasy football. We're gamblers.
Yeah.
You know, we gamble with other things in life.
Yeah.
But you judge me off of that and say, oh, well, your team sucks, and I hope you lose everything because you invest in that. Then you're the problem. You're not saying, you know, I see that you're doing that maybe for fun. However, I really hope that you don't, and you don't have to tell me this, but, you know, I really hope that you don't blow all your savings on, you know, just to enter a league. You know, that's when it becomes more of an issue. That's not to say that you're exempt from anything.
Yeah.
So the same thing goes with when we do compare ourselves, when we do take a little bit of sauce and flavor from people. That's just part of the game. But we all playing a game. We all trying to get to somewhere. Hopefully, that's my hope. I hope we all trying to get somewhere. We trying to raise good leaders because we're old. We're already beyond our mark. We're supposed to be setting examples and raising the generation. I got 2 more kids younger than my daughter, so I got a long way to go. I burn myself out in the next 10 years. My son's only going to be 12. So I'm cooked at that point. I'm already got the whatever they call the forehead and the bags already. So I'm definitely not going to add stress to my life because I'm trying to figure out how much somebody weighs or that somebody said something about one of my favorite rappers.
Yeah.
And I'm upset about it. You know, like, you know, whatever the example may be. So, man, let's just keep being, like I said in one of my posts a while back, like just keep being good people and setting good examples. And that's where I'll leave it.
No, that's real, bro. No, and I agree everything you said, man. And you know, and again, bro, I appreciate your time, man, because I know
absolutely
you have stuff going on, like you said, with the school, the podcast. Shoot. Oh, real quick too. Make sure you plug in what you're doing. You know, I know you rep sure. Shirts on. But make sure
man,
you're doing the stuff for you
hope y'all can hear me.
Some things for fathers too, man.
No doubt. Shout out to the Daddy Stroller Social Club, based out of Fort Worth, Dallas area. Kelvin Bridges, Damani Anderson, my guy Bronner. It's a couple of other guys who have things going. So if y'all see the Daddy Stroller Social Club, understand, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this publicly, but we're working on the chapter here in San Antonio. And this guy right here will be one of the key representatives, the chapter reps. And so I'm working through the process right now. And I just really want to bring all that brotherhood from Atlanta, from Cleveland, from LA, all the other chapters, bring us together at some point to where we can, well, from a distance, to where we can bring light to fatherhood, to brotherhood, but definitely to fatherhood. Because we all go through something, whether it be financially, mentally, psychologically. Sometimes we just need to know somebody else is trying to do the right thing. And it's a stroller social club, but you don't have to necessarily have a stroller-sized child. So it's nice. We do have a stroll, and that's something I signed up for, and it's something I want to really put some time into. And it's not gonna take up all my time, but if any fathers out there are looking to help, please reach out, man. Please reach out. I'll go by Jawan on the social, and it's DADOESPOT_pod. The Dope Spot is my platform, and reach out to me there. Shoot me an email, DM, or whatever the case may be, and I would love to have some help. It's different positions. I'm not trying to do all this on my own, and I shouldn't have to, because of the brotherhood, because we are all, and it's no matter the race, a creed or whatever. Your ethnicity, black men, white men, we all need to figure out what we can do to better the world, and it starts with us. We're the leaders, so it starts with us, and it should end with us too.
Nah, bro, absolutely, man. Yeah, definitely. As y'all know, if I'm pretty sure y'all should know now, I am officially a nonprofit, which is a blessing. So I'm
Sir,
definitely want to be.
Congrats on camera.
Sir, thank you.
Yeah,
I definitely want to be able to partner up and do some things with them as well. What he's talking about, so that'll be in the works, and for sure I'll let you guys know. Yeah, as you see, he's rocking the works.
I hope y'all can see that. See the back.
Back too.
Yeah, I gotta see the back is where it's at.
Oh, yep. So you see.
I'm gonna get some more. I'm gonna get some more merch and have it on.
Yeah, man. But nah, bro. Again, I appreciate you, man. Appreciate your time. Of course, I always love having you on. You like a unofficial co-host, basically.
Might have to make that official, man. I think we got. We talk a long time when we do talk. It ain't nothing short, but we get. I feel we get stuff done. So
absolutely.
I appreciate it.
No, I appreciate you, man. And guys, like always, right? Like always, you don't have to be perfect, but you always have to be present. See you guys on the next one.